Hi, hello everybody. I have literally just got back from Georgia Hospital again. Oh, I might as well live there. I just want to give a big shout out to all the staff. They were absolutely amazing. I was not there long after midnight, which meant that it only cost me £5 to get home in a taxi instead of it being double time. I have got an infection again, so they have put me on another course of antibiotics. But trying to get into my GP, I've been trying now for the past 3 days just to get my blood test results. My legs are still completely flared up, and basically at A&E today, they did all my ops. They managed to find my blood test results online, and they basically said, what is your baseline for your bloods? And I said, usually, if it is 17 and above, then it shows I have an infection. If it's 17 and below, I don't bother taking antibiotics or anything. And they're like, well, it's 14, which technically does show that you have an infection. So I've been put on another course of antibiotics, and I have to get from the hospital. So I have to go and pick them up tomorrow morning. And they also said, try to get into your doctors and say, look, you've had to go to A&E again. You've had to be put on another course of antibiotics, just so that they are aware and they update your medical records. But I just still feel that the main problem with the NHS at the moment is the breakdown in communication between all of the departments. I say to everybody, if you are in A&E for less than 8 hours, then you are blessed. And I know that it's frustrating, and I know that it's hard and very extremely agitating to be there, and people go in before you that arrived after you and vice versa. And you think, well, what about me? What about me? And it is supposed to be done on a triage system. And the way I looked at it was, all my ops were fine. Yes, I was worried I had septicemia again because my body was showing signs of sepsis. But what they've said is, look, we think we've caught it quick. We're not that worried about you. You do not have to have antibiotics intravenously. Thank God, if you believe in all that. Just take it orally. So I'm probably going to be given, knowing the hospital, I'm going to be on antibiotics for about a week, and I'm going to be taking 3 to 4 a day. So over the next week, I am just going to be so mentally and physically exhausted more than usual. But luckily, it's the first week of the school holidays. I've already spoken to my children, and I've already said, if mommy has to go back on antibiotics for a week, then we'll do things around the house. So, like, tidy your room. And then once I'm feeling better, we can start going swimming maybe, or go to the seaside for the day, or, find something to do that is no more than 2 hours away from where we live. Because anything more than that, I do not honestly think I would cope with the travelling. And the same with my children, because of their SEN needs. To try and keep a child in a car for more than 2 hours is just cruel, in my opinion. So fingers crossed. But all I want to say is thank you so much that, I went today. It wasn't a wasted journey. They didn't need to do any more bloods today. That was my worry. I was thinking, oh my God, please just find my blood test results from last week. Use that as a baseline. If you think that I have an infection, give me antibiotics. If not, retest my bloods. But please don't waste 5 hours of NHS time. Because in all fairness, I strongly believe if it hadn't have took 3 days or even a week to get back in touch with my doctor, which I still haven't done yet, that I'm 99% sure that my doctor, if I'd have rung them on Monday and I'd got through, they would have said, right, Katrina, we believe you have an infection. We're going to put you on a course of antibiotics for the week and then retest your bloods. So I am so relieved that everything went really, really well. And I'll tell you what, the way they were dealing with everyone today was absolutely amazing. And I had to say that to the patients. Look, I've been here when, it has been absolutely bedlam. And I've only ever done that once. Every other time when I've come to A&E, it has been managed. I wouldn't say to perfection, but it's been managed. And the only time it wasn't was obviously last year. And And I've said, you know, if you can get in and out within 8 hours, it's a blessing. So for me to get in and out within 5, I just want to say thank you. And again, what the doctors kept saying to me was, you did the right thing, you phoned up the 111 service, you phoned up your doctors, you couldn't get in, you couldn't get an out-of-hour appointment, you came to A&E. We would rather a patient or somebody who thinks they're ill turns up to A&E and we say yes or no to you, than for you to think, oh no, I'm not going to go because I don't want to waste anyone's time, and then end up having to have an ambulance or getting worse. So they definitely said to me, it's obvious you've got an infection. It sounds like you may even have an upper respiratory tract infection. And I'm like, yeah, usually if I have one of those, if I've had it more than 20 days, then I'll take antibiotics. And they just looked at me like, are you insane? And I'm like, well, I know how long it takes my body to heal. How long have you had this infection on your legs? And I said 3 months. And they were like, right, no, you need to go on antibiotics. But they have seriously stressed that if my symptoms get worse, to go straight back to A&E. Because the last thing they want is for me to end up with septicemia, which is absolutely life-threatening. And I would say that to anyone. If in doubt, just go to the hospital. Okay? That is what it's for. And that is the one positive thing. I know it's not perfect, but that is the one positive thing that we still have in the United Kingdom. And that is hospitals and the NHS, and I'm hoping that that will continue, because if it ends up more like America or anywhere else, then there is just going to be so many fatalities that the country is just not going to know what to do with itself. So take care of you. I am going to take my last Beecham that I have in my cupboard. I've just took my first course of antibiotics. I will pick up my prescription tomorrow when I wake up. And like I said, take care, and if in doubt, seek medical attention. All the best. Sleep well.